I wanted to address a huge issue with budgeting. It's not an issue that really affects everyone, but it does affect a large number of individuals and families, and that is irregular income. Irregular income can be so difficult to try to budget because irregular income means that you don't know how much money you're expected to make for the week, the month, or even the year. So trying to budget, trying to figure out how you can stay afloat can be really challenging. And so I'm hoping that maybe I can try to help you understand how to maybe make that budgeting process a little bit easier. And in order to do that, I want to show you the budget formula. This is the formula that applies to everyone, whether you have regular income or irregular income. And that is income minus expenses equals your difference. So in other words, if you have regular income, your income is stable because you typically know from the week to the month to the year how much you're expected to make, what your salary is going to be. And then your expenses are typically unstable. They're going to vary from month to month. Now, hopefully you have an average and you sort of know, or at least have a good handle on how much you're going to spend every single month. So for regular income, this is how your equation looks. Now, your difference is going to tell you if you're in the red, the green, or the zero. And zero is where you want to be. That's where you want your budget to be, because that implies that all of your money is going somewhere. So if you're in the green, you want to take your excess and apply it to savings, retirement, your debt, putting it somewhere that's going to benefit you somehow in the long run. If you're in the red, then obviously you need to go back to your formula and figure out where you can balance it out. Can you cut your expenses or can you add more income? Now, if you have irregular income, in order to make this equation work for you, it's a little challenging because obviously if you have irregular income, your income is unstable. So how do you make this formula work if you have two unstable variables? It's a little challenging. So in order to make this formula work, you're going to have to change one thing. And that one thing is this. You are going to have to make your expenses stable. Now, that can sometimes be easier said than done, obviously, but that's why it's going to be imperative that you know almost to the dollar amount every week and every month how much your expenses are going to be, or how much you at least expect them to be. Because once you know how much your expenses are going to be, you're going to be able to figure out how much income you have to make in order to at least get this number to zero. Now, hopefully, maybe you can get a little bit more green added to that so that we can apply more money towards your savings or retirement or other goals. But if you keep this as stable, you will be able to actually balance out this equation and be able to make a real budget. So even though it's very difficult to budget for irregular income, you have to work a little bit backwards. You're going to have to start with your expenses and figure out how much your expenses are expected to be for the month. And you're going to have to do a really good total in order to really figure it out. But once you have a total that you understand and that you know how you got to and that you feel comfortable with, that's going to tell you how much income you absolutely have to make for the month or for the week in order to balance out this equation. So hopefully that makes a little bit more sense, and hopefully that will help you if you have irregular income to learn how to budget for it. It can be a little bit difficult, but if you look at it in terms of doing it backwards instead of looking at how much income you have and then subtracting your expenses from there, try to start with the expenses and figure out how much your expenses are going to be. So then that way you know how much income you have to make in order to get this number to zero. Hopefully this will help you.